Okay, today, melodic minor scales. They're so useful, they're so hard. Here is an etude that I've been developing for a while now, and because melodic minor scales are just the cornerstone of so much that we do, I've been really having a deep dive into them and put together an etude that has lots of different ways to practice melodic minor scales, but all in the same etude. So there's scales, there's arpeggios, and there's also some diminished stuff. There's the different functions that the scales play, so as minor shapes themselves, but also as dominant shapes and altered dominant shapes. And there's some diminished stuff too, just for good measure. So it's a workout for both hands. So the right hand is going to concentrate on things that are useful for lines, but I'm also going to look at the left hand to understand the function that these scales can take, and also look at some rootless voicings that can be used associated with melodic minors. So let's start by having a look at the exercise itself, and we're going to start just in the friendly key of C minor. Okay, so C minor, here is the scale itself. So it's got the minor third, the raised seventh. So it's basically C major, but with the third has been made flat. Okay, so no surprises there. So the exercise is first of all going to do arpeggio up the ninth. And we're going to start off by surrounding the note that we're starting on. So that's the first shape that we're working on. The next bit is to come down the scale. We're going to miss out the fourth so that it fits nicely rhythmically. So that's the second shape, down the scale. And that's a really nice thing to do, is come down the scale in missing out the fourth. So that's a really nice run that you can stick in places. So that's the first two parts, let's put them together. Then we're going to do the same, but instead of starting on the root, we're going to start on the minor third. So we're going to do, whoops. So remembering the raised seventh there, which I didn't. We're also going to start by surrounding the third. Okay, so here's the arpeggio. Let's put it all together. First three bits, surround the root. That was the arpeggio up to ninth, then come down missing out the fourth. Now surround the third, then the arpeggio up to the 11th. Okay, so now we're going to come down and we're going to use the diminished scale that goes with this minor. So the diminished scale is just the first four notes of the minor scale that we're on, and then it's the first four notes of the minor scale a tritone away. So that's G flat minor. So diminished scale. Okay, and there's loads of shapes that you can do from this. We're going to do there we go. So let's put it together. Finishing on the minor third. I'll do it again. And that is the exercise. So it's got arpeggio up, scale down, another arpeggio up, diminished shape down. There we go. And that's it for C minor. And then just another 11 keys to go. Aha, but what about the left hand? I hear you ask. That is a very good question. Now, the left hand is going to show all the different roles that this melodic minor scale and the associated shapes can play. So we're going to focus on 4. The first is just straight minor. So this can be used on a minor 6 or minor 9 chord. The next is, if we go down a semitone, it's the altered scale. So in this case, it would be B altered dominant, using a C melodic minor. We then go to a minor 3rd below the root, so using C melodic minor for an A half diminished shape. And the final one is we drop down a 5th below the root of our melodic minor, so use C melodic minor for F dominant. So this is the minor scale on the 5th of the dominant. So let's have a look at that. So just see in the left hand, this is something that fits on a minor. So very nice. What about, there you go, there's B dominant. Very crunchy. So what about A half diminished? Nice. And then finally, we're going to have F dominant, which my hand can just about reach. So obviously that's the Lydian dominant. It's got B flat with the raised 7th of the melodic minor. So finally, we'll put in some rootless voicings in the left hand, and we're going to use just one shape, 2 different inversions, but one shape for all of the different functions that we have for our melodic minor scale. Here we go. So the rootless voicings that we're going to use, they're going to be the same for all of our different functions, and they're going to be using, so for C melodic minor, they're going to be the 3rd, the 5th, the 6th, and the 9th. And you can use those in, well, I'm going to use them in either of 2 inversions, either the 3rd on the bottom, or you can take that, move it up the octave, put it the other way up. I'm just going to learn 2 inversions because that's enough for me just now. And those are the rootless voicings for all of those shapes. So if we put C in the bottom, that's our voicing for C minor 6 or minor 9. It's also our voicing for B altered dominant, it's also our voicing for A half diminished, and it's also a nice voicing, kind of nice and straightforward, for F dominant. So you can also obviously leave any of these notes out. That's nice if you leave out the 6th. So let's see if we can put this all together. We'll have a bit of a metronome to keep things nice and steady and see how it fits together. So we start with just the roots. Okay, we can do it a bit half time if you want. We can go through all 4 roots over the one shape, or do it half time. also with the rootless voicing, so I'm going to play the note in the bass and then I'm going to put the voicing on top. Right, I've been practicing this for a little while already, I'm not going to lie, it's quite hard. So I brought it up to the lofty speed of 66 beats a minute. So here it is going through all of the keys. I've tried practicing it faster than this, but I just make mistakes. So I'm sticking with this at the moment. And the idea is to really, really learn the voicings, learn the diminished shapes that are associated with each scale. So I don't see the point of going a lot faster. In a solo or in improvising, you're only going to use like a little fragment of this anyway, so you don't need to remember like the whole thing and put it all together. It's just useful to see how everything fits together, and that works best for me, at least, at really slow speeds. Here we go. Oops. Phew, made it. Right, there we go. That is my epic melodic minor workout. I will be practicing this for a long time, but it's already, I think, starting to pay dividends. There's the different ways that I'm going to practice it. Obviously, trying to get it faster, so I think one key at a time is enough. Using the rhythm trainer, gradually speeding up on the metronome. Obviously, not my old metronome for that. But an app on my phone, So pick a key, gradually speed up, really get some fluency in my fingers. That's one way to practice. Another way is to use the diminished family. So all of the melodic minor scales that use the same diminished shape. So for instance, C minor, E flat minor, G flat minor, and A minor all have the same diminished scale and the same diminished shape. So it's nice to start to really put those four keys together, understand that their dominants are interchangeable with each other. So practicing going round in minor thirds, stringing them together, that's really useful. That's another way to do it. So I'll be doing that. So yeah, you can just spend hours on this stuff. Great fun.